Rest in peace, coffee. Time for new coffee.
Caffeinated. Beautiful. Creamy. Soft. Sexy. A drink that we all know and love. A drink known as
Coffee. The lifeblood of most humans. And it's a lifeblood that I choose to drink because I think it tastes freaking delicious. So, in light of this week being Thanksgiving week and me having a video due the first week of December, I decided that I should probably, get started on making a video so it's not late. Because I'm usually really late at making these kinds of things. We're trying to remedy that. So, coffee. I had this idea and I wrote it on my video things I want to make poster list thing. Basically, I just want to take the cups of coffee that I make in the morning for myself and just sit down and paint a week of my coffees, which will push me to make different flavors, and I will share those flavors as the week goes on and kind of how to make them and such. And it'll push me to make coffees that are maybe more artistic, so I have a good variety of things to paint. Yeah, that's about it. Like my look I'm trying to pull? I'm trying to pull Italian grandma who's having a flashback to her golden years. Let's go do some art. Wow. Don't mind if I ask. It looks like a dollop of poop.
That is a picture.
I'm having poopy coffee.
First coffee, here we go! Woo! Starting off this challenge, not really all that strong. And I will talk about more about that as the speed paint goes on. But basically what I did, I took a page in my sketchbook and I washi taped out kind of like a border, as you can see, and then I taped off 7 sections so that way I would have like a little tiny canvas for each day that I would be painting. So first one, I started with a background color of pink because the cup that I used was a kind of a transparent but with a pearlescent gloss. People are messaging me. With a pearlescent gloss around it. I think it looks super magical and pretty, and I like having coffee in them because it makes me feel like I'm getting in touch with my magical self. I don't really have much else to say about this whole experience, but you know those games that have like all these questions on cards and stuff? So I'm just gonna pull a random thing and then talk about that because I don't really have much else to talk about, and this whole watercolor process is pretty self-explanatory so far, so here we go. Okay, this card says, if you could live in any house featured in a TV show or a movie, whose abode would you call home? Oh my god. Where does the list even begin for me? Okay, first of all, Cinderella's home, before her parents unfortunately passed away in the 2015 remake, just all the murals, it's just Oh, it's so pretty, and like just the shape of the house is just, it's so wonderful. That would be one I would want to live in. And then another house I would really want to live in is Maria's uncle's manor. I think it's just called Moonacre Manor in The Secret of Moonacre, which is one of my favorite movies. Again, it's just magical and beautiful and just... The library in that movie gives me life. If you have not seen The Secret of Moonacre, please go watch it. It's so good. It's one of my favorite movies, and if you've followed me for a long time, a lot of the aesthetics in my film I represent in a lot of my OCs, more specifically my Arcana OC, Lyra Slacker. So yeah, those are the houses I would really want to live in. Pretty typical, pretty magical, not much more to it.
Shabbai, don't you cry.
No! That's why they say don't abandon milk on the stove. Milk! The silent killer! That smells good.
Alright, day 2, here we go. I really wanted to go kind of all out and crazy with this one, with making my coffee extra bougie, like, I don't know, those really fancy coffees, I don't know. Again, this whole thing was just supposed to be for experimentation, and I had a lot of fun, like drawing all the little nuts that were around the rim and floating around in the coffee. Even if my representation of what it looked like the translation from picture to drawing wasn't really all that great. The beginning first 2 days were rough. They were... Yeah, I don't know what happened in the first 2 days. I think I was just attempting and kind of like getting a feel for how I was gonna BS my way through this whole challenge. And again, this is just one of those times where experimenting doesn't always go the way you plan. But in this case, it was in a positive way, not a negative way. Yeah, again, we're just gonna slap some color on all of these nuts and in this beautiful coffee drink, which I must say, this was one of the most favorite coffees that I had made for myself all week. Like, the flavor of the coffee with like the little touch of hazelnut. It didn't taste like Nutella, I will not admit to that, but like the way I made the hot chocolate, even though it kind of spilled over in a disaster, but we don't need to talk about that. I already addressed that in the making of this coffee. But anyway, it was really good. Like, the marshmallow mixed into the hot chocolate added like a nice creamy finish. It was really, really good. Unexpectedly, but I will absolutely make it again. Oh, and the funny part about this thing was that the chocolate sauce that was around the rim, it was like melting as the day went on, so it felt like extra fancy. I don't know, it was fun to see how much chocolate dripped off, and that would have been an art piece all in its own if I wasn't swamped for time. And when I say swamped for time, I just really couldn't be bothered with making another picture because I've been really struggling with my art lately. I've been struggling in the sense of like inspiration, and I guess I've been stressed out about how I've been making my art. Like, when I think about making an art piece, I want it to be good, and then I overthink the whole process, and then I end up like starting over on a piece, or I just end up like abandoning it altogether, which isn't really conducive to trying to open up an online store. Like, I've been getting a lot of stress with trying to make stickers, and a lot of my anxiety has been getting in the way, which I talked about in my previous video. I'm still battling it, but we're slowly working through it. I've been battling a lot of stress about will I make what the things that I make, will they be even good? Will people want to even like buy them? But I just have to keep reminding myself that I am just going to make whatever art I want to, and if people like it, then people like it. And if they don't like it, well, it all eventually will be sold out of stock over time, and I'm not too concerned about it. As you can tell, money is a huge priority to me. Not really. I actually don't really care for it. I just care about making art and inspiring others through my art. That's really what my main reasons for existing is. Speaking of art I want to make, but I'm a little bit too anxious to make, so I'm just putting it on the back burner. I really want to make a Lord of the Rings inspired cuckoo clock. Basically, it kind of looks like Hobbington, but then it also has the Fellowship of the Ring, like, every hour according to what Hobbit Breakfast, not Hobbit Breakfast, I say Hobbit Breakfast because second breakfast is one of my favorite phrases to say now, and this will all make sense in a little bit once I explain the clock. But it'll be set to like all the Hobbit meal times, and at every Hobbit meal time, the Fellowship will like come out of the cuckoo clock, and they'll like go around on this wheel and go through a forest, and then that'll be it. I don't know. It's really, it was a really cool idea that I thought about as I was falling asleep a couple days ago, and so I opened up my iPad and drew a really quick sketch of it, and now I kind of really want to make it and sell it to someone. Not for profit, but just because I don't think I would have a use for it in my current place of staying, but that would need me to learn how to do woodworking, which my grandfather does know how to do woodworking, but I just don't think I have the time to learn that skill right now, so I'm just gonna put that on the back burner. Also, I am accidentally using a silver pen instead of a gray pen to do the dark parts of the bubbles. Oops. I kind of realized that after I finished the piece, because I was a fool. So yeah, day 3. Day 3 was the day before Thanksgiving, and so I needed to make myself a relatively simple coffee. So that's why there's not really much to this one, because I had a lot to do, and I didn't have a lot of time to spend on making an extra bougie coffee, like... Mama. If turkeys couldn't make a gobbling noise, what kind of noise do you think they should make?
They couldn't make a goblin noise?
No, a gobble noise.
A gobble noise? Then they would sound like a bear.
A bear? Dad, if a turkey could make any sound, aside from gobbling, what sound would it make?
Don't shoot.
That's a word, not a sound.
Oh. What?
Aside from gobbling. Yeah, no, you have to pick.
I said don't shoot.
Said bear noise, but okay.
A bear noise?
With my inquiry somewhat unsatisfied, I set forth into drawing day number 3's coffee, which, unexpectedly, it turned out really, really good. Like, I kept going back and looking at it and thinking to myself, my god, I'm a genius. There's just something about how my brain said, yeah, this shading makes sense. Yeah, I know how to do that. That just all fell into place and made this beautiful work of art. So, yeah. Enjoy the mastery that is about to unfold before your eyes.
goodness. Wow.
Had to take a quick break from coffeeing to make my family Thanksgiving breakfast. So after turkey was devoured until there was pretty much nothing left, it was time for me to draw my coffee by the fire, because I was feeling extra cozy, and why not? This was another coffee that turned out super bombing, as I figured out, something that I hadn't really used with watercolor before was just, getting really, really dry color so I could get a very, very vibrant color. So that was how I was able to achieve the different layers of green in the previous cup, as well as the cup that I am working on now, which is honestly a skill with watercolor that I am going to use moving forward. It was really nifty and made the whole process enjoyable somehow. I don't know. I find sometimes it's hard to get watercolor to be anything but transparent, so figuring this out, even though it feels like small brain stuff that big artists already know about, but finding this technique I'm absolutely going to use, because it just made my pictures feel richer and more, as the judges on Guy's Grocery Games would say, it had more depth of flavor to the drawing, because tasting art with your eyeballs is absolutely a thing. But yeah, I had a really good Thanksgiving. My whole family pitched in and cooked something, and we all had good time together, and we ate lots of good food, and I wasn't sick, which is honestly the best thing that I could have asked for myself on that day, since I had a lot to do, no matter how much recovery time I needed, because honestly after Thanksgiving I was really low energy for a couple of days afterwards. It was a process of recovery that I wasn't expecting from myself, but I'm doing okay now. I had time to recover energy-wise, even though sometimes it's still hard to get out of bed. But you know what? That's just life. And doing watercolor next to the fire was unexpectedly pleasant, because my paints dried fast, which means I could layer on more and more color without waiting for stuff to dry in a more quick succession. So I think I'm gonna put that into practice more often, not just in this whole experience, but yeah, more shit that I learned from drawing my coffee for a week, which seems so simple, but I learned a lot, which is something I didn't expect. But I'm glad I did it, because for once I was finishing an art challenge so far, which, spoilers, I did actually finish. Not really a spoiler, considering the fact of how successful the Pumpkin House video turned out to be. Still kind of scarred from that event. But oh well, lesson learned. And learning is honestly all we can ask from ourselves in these experiences, which, boy howdy, did I learn a lot through drawing my coffee through 7 days, as I just said before. Yeah, so moving on, there's our coffee from day 4 / Thanksgiving Day.
Here's the plate with no eggs, Mason.
Again, it's just the same process. Sketch, watercolor, try and make it as close to the picture I took as possible. Nothing more to it.
Found your dad. Woogie, woogie, woogie.
It's the final coffee. Yeah, this is day 7. Woo! Me finishing an art challenge. That is something that I thought I would never ever do in my life, ever. Also enjoy me fighting my cats as I try and draw this piece because it was late at night, they had the zoomies, and I wanted to draw on the floor because for some reason that's where my body gravitates. Maybe it's because I'm short. I don't know. But overall, in this challenge, I got better at drawing coffee, which I honestly was not expecting to have that happen. But you could actually see progress as the coffees go by and as the days go by, which is completely unexpected. I was expecting to go in as Gandalf the Grey and be pretty good, but, you know, maybe from the creator's standpoint, still be better, and then I came out as Gandalf the White. So, watch out, because I'll cast a spell on your coffee and it'll be a drawing instead of an actual cup of coffee, and then you'll go throughout your day uncaffeinated. Mwahaha! Actually, that sounds kind of more like a Saruman plot than a Gandalf helping people be better for the sake of being better kind of plot.
Very slushily raining outside. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Time for a ye old wrap up. Oh, bye then, I guess. Don't mind my very extra bougie Edwardian / vintage. I think this is Edwardian. I don't actually know. Jewelry with my very simple cottage core outfit. I have had this set of jewelry forever, not forever, since the summer. That's the wrong phrasing, but the point is, I have been dying to wear it, but I don't have anywhere fancy enough that would merit me actually putting on a fancy ass dress and wearing the jewelry. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna wear it anyway. It's so pretty. Acorn, I need you to move off the journal, please. So here she is, 7 days of my coffee. Overall, I learned a lot from this experience, and I wasn't expecting to. It was just supposed to be a very silly filler episode of some kind, as I'm struggling a lot with my art currently, which I probably talked about in the voiceover. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to actually improve, but I did. So that was strange. But yeah, it was lots of fun and relaxing to actually do this and to actually finish an art challenge for once. I don't know how the fuck that happened or ended up being a thing, but it did. It was fun and chill to do. I don't know what I'm going to do for my next project, but Acorn, that's my second breakfast. Don't you know how important second breakfast is to a hobbit like me? This sketchbook is almost full, and this was a great, like, filler for it. I have not a ton of pages, like I have that much, which seems like a lot to some people, but for me, not a lot. So I'll need to start thinking about decorating a new journal and maybe even doing a sketchbook tour when I fill this one. Is that something you guys would be interested in? You guys wanna see everything that's in here? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, 7 days of my coffee. I'll probably do something like this again. Maybe. I don't know, maybe like 7 days of cats or something like that. I don't know. A week kind of seemed very tackleable more than like other art challenges like Huevember and Inktober, stuff like that. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? Oh yeah, next week, right? Yes, next week, I will be back to streaming. Yay! And no, I have not got VODs uploaded from all the way back in, hi Angora, all the way back in September, October, which is a bit of a problem, but I'll do it soon, hopefully. Give up on thumbnails. That's really the only reason why I haven't been posting them. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to streaming. Thank you all so much for letting me take this break in November. It was extremely necessary for me. Yeah, if you wanna join the kitchen, please consider subscribing. That would be super helpful. Have a good weekend and have a nice start to your December. Okay, I'm flying away now. Oh no. Maybe? Don't mind me, I'm having my second breakfast of the day. Was that necessary? You guys! Lamps are not for knocking over, they're for illuminating rooms that are dark because we live in an actual cave of trees!